Let's talk about one of the biggest mistakes I made when I started perfumery, and that is not labeling my test bottles correctly. The reason it's a mistake is because over the last year I've made some samples that smell really good to me, but I was not able to recreate them, and I have no idea how I made them because I named my bottles with regular text instead of a system that I'll talk about later. Let's look inside. Let's read these. Here this bottle says Silk Road 1.2. This bottle says Silk Road B 1.1. This one says Burberry B1. This one says Luna B4. When I first started, I thought that I'm just making perfumes, so I labeled the materials sort of with a name that I would use for the perfume, and I guess I kind of did some code system because I did B1, B2, but still it was very confusing, and adding a name to the bottle as well made it harder to judge because I was thinking that this is a final perfume, not just a test sample. This kind of system also caused resistance because if I wanted to create a new test sample, I had to come up with a name or something like that, and that slows me down because I was trying to find the perfect name for this experiment. And as you can see, I have quite a lot of these. That's not all I have. And after some time, you have so many bottles with a similar name, you're lost and you no longer understand what is in what bottle. Not to mention that I did not have a good digital organization as well. So in the end, when I look at this bottle, I don't really know where I can find the contents of this. I don't know what materials I used. It doesn't even say what date it was made. It's just a disaster. Here you can see different spray bottles. This is the only one which has a label. It says 540. I know this is Baccarat Rouge clone that I did, but this one, it has no label. Sure, I can smell it. And I know this is the first perfume I ever tried, which is, I think, I don't even remember the name, but I don't know which version it is. This one, I don't even know what this is. And the reason it's a problem is because sometimes you make a sample and you don't like it immediately, but you may come back to this a few months later and you like it. But what if you can't no longer remember where you stored the formula? Now you got a problem because you have something that smells good and you have no way to recreate it, unless by nose. But it's not the same. It's like trying to record a song from memory. It may sound similar, but it's not going to be the same. Now, the solution is to use a very simple code-based system. In my case, I start with letter A and 3 numbers, and it just increments. And it doesn't matter if it's in a spray bottle or if it's in a bottle like this, because the code is the same. Here, I have a bottle. It has a label A001. It has a date when it was blended, and I also saved the formula of this in Notion in a database. And the good thing about this is that the code is a super easy way for me to know exactly which sample I'm talking about. And because I save it digitally, the formula, it's super easy to find it. And anytime if I smell this and I'm like, I want to recreate this, I can. I do not change this unless I also change the digital copy of this. And this way I know exactly that what is in this bottle is what I'm seeing on the screen. You will need a lot of bottles, perhaps, depending on how many experiments you do. You will also need labels like this, so you can write down the code name. You will need a pen, and you will need some place to write down what formula this code is for. It doesn't have to be A. You can just do your initials or your brand name, and you don't need 3 digits. Maybe you just need 2, so that would be 01, 02, 03, and so on. Let's take a look at these 3, and it's why I really love this system. Is 2 days ago, I was making a perfume from scratch, and I created 2 samples, 2 experiments. I created one for the core accord and then one for the top notes. And then finally, I did the final formula in this one. And the good thing about this is I can smell them separately. It's kind of like having layer system when you're working with images on the computer. You can look at the first layer and then the second layer, and then you can look at everything together. And if I didn't have code names, I'll get really lost because I don't know which bottle is where. It's just really confusing. But now I know exactly what is in which bottle, and I can look in my database if I ever want to recreate this, or just the base, or just the top notes. I also tried to recreate a formula I found online. I think it's called Arabian Tonka or something like that. And I created a lot of it somehow. And it was too much, so I had to put it in this test sample as well. I mean, the spray bottle. The beautiful thing is that it is the same code, A003, A003. So not only I know what is in this and exactly what formula I have put in this, I also know that this spray bottle came from this sample. To summarize this video, I really suggest that you start some kind of labeling system that will make it easy for you to know what formula is in what bottle. I suggest you take one letter and a few digits and increment the digit every time you make a new formula, every time you make a new test sample, and write down the samples somewhere. You can use a notebook, you can use Excel sheets, you can use Notion, which is what I suggest because it's easier, but do some kind of system, because if you just use labels, which regular text, you're gonna get lost, and it's gonna really hurt when you create something and you cannot recreate it because you've lost the formula and you are just working from memory now. That's what happened to me here. I have a demo formula and it's really good, but I have no way to recreate it because I don't know what I did to it. It's forever lost. I can try to recreate it, but it's not going to be the same. I also suggest that you write down the date when you blended this for maceration purposes, so you know how long this has been macerating. I hope this helps someone organize their perfumery a little better. It helped me, and I hope it helps you too. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.